Welcome to Adventures in Reading.
I hope that sounded as cool.
Did it sound cool?
Yeah, I hope it did.
Y'all let us know if that sounded cool.
And
Yeah.
it didn't lie and say it sounded cool.
Because if it did sound cool, we'll do it again.
So, welcome everybody. We are live from Talia and my living room. So it's great
We
to have.
practically live here.
Yeah, it's awesome to have Christy and Adam back home. So y'all, we're doing Adventures in Reading. We have not done Adventures in Reading, I think, since Dragon Con.
Wait, what are we doing?
Adventures in Reading.
Yeah. Yep.
Actually, I
Did we-
checked. We did one in December, I think.
Did we do one in
I
December?
think we did one in
that sounds
December.
Well, I don't remember that.
So it doesn't count.
Sounded cool.
What's really cool is tonight is the culmination of a project kind of that started from Adventures in Reading. So we're going to do Adventures in Reading with our own book. Look at that. That is an actual physical copy.
What are we doing Adventures in Reading with?
Our own book. So Adam's gonna have too much fun. So look, this is like legit printed. It's got a spine and it's got a back. This is a super rare copy because the inside art may or may
Has a
not be on
typo.
it. No, it doesn't have a typo.
It
Don't
does
say
also
that.
have a
But we're gonna find out if there is a typo. We're gonna proofread that one last time before y'all get your own copies. So just a reminder, you can get a physical hardback or hardbound.
It is not hardback.
It is not hardback. Sorry, softback.
Lucas, do it.
Bound.
Paperback.
Adventures in Reading.
No,
What?
small
Oh,
pages.
small pages. Oh, sorry.
Now do the other
Really
thing.
aggressive.
Now do the other thing.
Adventures in Reading.
Hey.
Oh, sorry. So y'all chime in. If you are a contributor, go ahead, comment with your number. Everyone knows their number.
We got
So,
number 20 already.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I saw Kent. I'm not number one, but that's just how it worked.
I mean,
out. I don't
and
take-
what was I? Was that
You were
just?
two.
I was 2. Okay.
Yeah, that was a little arbitrary.
Who's
So
number reader?
yes. What do you want to?
Do I get an honorary number?
You
Number 407.
Yes. So the way this normally works is we would go through and we would pick a couple different endings, but we really don't want to spoil this book for you. So we're going to go through one ending. There's 2 main branches of the path. So it'll start with me, it'll go to Adam, and that's going to be our first decision. Adam had the first decision to write, and then where it picked up is it went to it went to Abbott, and I can't even remember now. I've
remember.
started to forget.
Wow, you had that
Wow.
memorized.
I had the entire tree, the assignments, everyone
Like
by
2
memory.
weeks ago, you had it
Yeah.
memorized.
I know I
never
honestly have
stop
taken a
talking about it.
mental breather from this entire project just because we spent 2 solid months just like really at a breakneck pace. But again, you can still pre-order a physical copy on our website, or you can go to Amazon if you want to have the Kindle version. The Kindle version is
You
going to
only
be
have 1 week, though.
you only have 1 week.
1 week to get your pre-order in.
Yes. The Kindle version is going to have links in it. So when you click on your path, it's actually going to zap you to that page, which is going to be cool.
That's the sound it makes.
So here we go. So first of all, look at that art. So that is custom art. That's an artist named Ryan Wagner out of Atlanta that we worked with. And I think he encapsulated a perfect 80s adventure book. So
yes.
44, look, I can't even read them all. 44 amazing people, 3 amazing editors, contributing illustrations, just so good. And I'm going to read do you want to read the dedication? Or
I
Christy?
think you should read. The
I should read it?
dedication.
Okay.
All right,
I'm going to read the book.
We're all going to take turns reading. Like I said, we're only going to go through one ending, but we'll take some questions too at the end, maybe. All right, this adventure book is dedicated to all of the wonderful literarily wasted book club members across the world. Each and every one of you have made and contributed to the most positive community of book lovers on the internet. Lit Fam forever. Thank you all for being a part of our lives. Christy, Talia, Adam, and
I
Lucas.
found a typo. There should be a comma there.
Not with an ampersand.
And
Come
it
on.
begins.
I love finding typos in books. Lucas knows this
Not
about
what-
me.
okay.
I found one in the ninja book.
She did.
Okay. Got really excited.
All right, watch out, reader. Whatever you do, do not read this book from beginning to end. This is not an ordinary book. It's an adventure book with multiple branching paths and story outcomes based on your decisions. That's right. You are the star of this story. You're on your way to a wonderful beach vacation. The sweet summer breeze, the waves, and your favorite ice-cold beverage. These things and more can be yours if you choose wisely. Start on page 1. Throughout the book, you'll be asked to take a shot. Ooh, should we? Hey, y'all can actually take shots at home.
Maybe do sips.
Sips. Take a sip.
Take a sip.
Think carefully before you make your decision. After you make your choice, follow the instructions on the page to see what happens next. So, hop in your truck, grab your beach gear, and get ready to take a shot. Can you give me a level on ticket?
Okay, ready?
Yeah, and hold on. So hop in your truck, grab your beach gear, and get ready to take a shot.
What?
we have.
I hope it's working. Is it working?
They seem to
Okay.
say.
They're just like, wait. Okay. Page 1.
Here we go.
What a muggy night, you think to yourself as you drive down the quiet country road. Windows down, the breeze blows the steamy evening air into your old pickup truck. You're on your way to your family's beach house. House is probably being a bit too generous. Shack may be a more fitting tag for your destination. Surrounded by mansions, your uncle never took the time to really fix the place up. Now it sits nestled on the shore, an old relic of simpler times. As the next song kicks on the radio, I wrote this.
You wrote this one.
As the next song kicks on the radio, you notice that your fuel is looking a little bit low. There aren't a lot of options for gas on this stretch of highway, but you know that there is a station in the next few miles. Good thing, too, because your truck's gas gauge has been known to have a mind of its own sometimes. Better play it safe so I don't get stranded in the middle of the night, you think to yourself. You wind around a few more sleepy bends in the road and finally come upon Max Gas and Stuff. It's one of those places you pass on a road trip and think you should never step foot in the establishment, but Max is okay. You stopped here a time or two in the past to fill up, hit the facilities, and grab some of the boiled peanuts.
Peanuts.
It's okay. And grab some of the boiled peanuts the owners so proudly advertise on the roadside for miles leading up to the joint. An old man sits sleepily in a wooden rocker on the makeshift porch that serves as the entrance to Max Gas and Stuff. He tips his tattered baseball cap at you as you pull into the station and up to one of the 2 ancient analog metered gas pumps. You and your truck are relieved to have a break from the country roads for a moment. The pickup truck door creaks angrily as you open it and step onto the gravel drive, only to notice that another vehicle has just pulled up behind you. The lights are too bright to get a clear view of the vehicle, but it sounds like its occupants are in the midst of a heated argument. Go on to the next page.
Let's do it.
So that's where we pick up another writer, and this writer was actually Adam.
The sound of the gravel crunching under your feet as you approach the building punctuates the steady drone of cicadas that fill the thick night air. As you reach for the shop's door handle, you hear a wheezing laugh come from the old man in the rocking chair. Better than television, ain't it? He says giddily. He points to the vehicle parked behind yours. The occupants seem to be yelling at each other now, but you can't make out what they're saying. The occupants appear to be a young couple in their late 20s. The man in the driver's seat seems to be angrily pleading with the woman in the passenger seat, who sits with her arms crossed, looking away while shaking her head. The old man continues to wheeze laugh at the hapless couple. You shake your head, open the door, and enter the small structure. The dull jingle-jangle of bells hanging from the inside handle announces your entrance. You pass by a crock pot with a handwritten sign that says, "Boiled peanuts."
You should do that with the board.
Boiled peanuts.
Boiled peanuts. $3. And make a mental note to come back for them once you've finished pumping gas. You approach the counter where an old woman sits, deeply engrossed in some smartphone game. $20 on pump 3, please, you say as you slap a wrinkled $20 bill on the counter. With one hand and without looking up from her game, the old woman punches a few buttons on her register. Ka-ching! The cash drawer shoots out and she deftly stashes your money. Need a receipt? Yes, please, you beam. You pride yourself on keeping track of your expenses. It's you.
Yeah, I inspired this. Wait.
Oh, I did not realize I'd be reading this part out loud. the,
Oh, is it the I like this part.
the old woman grunts and she pushes a few more buttons on the register.
Oh my god.
That's the
The printer screams
printer.
as your receipt
Oh.
enters into existence. Idly, you look up out the window. The young couple has now emerged from their vehicle and are unloading what looks like luggage from their trunk. How odd, you think, as they continue to pull item after item from the trunk like a magician. Finally, they slam the trunk closed and hurry off across the street into the woods. What in the world? You wonder aloud. Rip! The sound of the receipt being torn from the register brings your attention back. Thanks, the old woman says, still looking down at her game as she holds the receipt out for you to take. As you snatch the paper from her outstretched hand, the jingle bells on the door handle ring suddenly and violently as the old man from the porch bursts into the store holding what appears to be a small piece of the young couple's luggage. He's practically beside himself as he sprints, rather sprightly, you note, towards you. Did you see that? That arguing young couple just unpacked their whole darn house and then went into the woods, but they left this behind. Calm down, Mac, the old woman behind the counter says, a note of tiredness in her voice. You saw it, didn't you? He screams practically in your face. I did. Is there a bus station near here or something? You ask. No, and I ain't never seen them before in my life. I tell you, there's something fishy going on here. He inches closer to your face. I think they ain't from around here.
Oh god.
If you know what I mean. Oh, Lord, the old woman says, trying not to roll her eyes too much because that would divert them from the addictive glow in her hands. Let's look inside, Mac whispers to you as he holds the suitcase up. Shouldn't we try to return it? You start to ask when you hear a loud buzz coming from outside. You look up towards it as a bright light emanates from the woods, filling every space around you. Just as quickly as it came, it dissipates, leaving you adjusting your eyes and trying to make sense of what just happened. I knew it, Mac says, a gleam in his eyes, still holding up the suitcase. Okay, now that's odd, the old woman says, finally looking up from her phone. And now it's time to take a shot. Okay, so if you open the suitcase, go on to the next page. If you investigate the strange light, turn to page 8. So we have open or investigate.
I love that you actually highlighted and
Mhm.
bolded the key words here because that's what
So we
we've
could
always
do this.
done. So in the past,
Yeah.
whenever we've done an adventures in reading, usually at the bottom, it's just a whole sentence. It says, like, if you want to do this, turn to this page.
focus.
But if you want to do this, then turn to this page, whatever.
Okay,
but
here come the votes.
We always have to come up with a word. Be like, okay, this or this. And Lucas did it for us. It was
I did do it for
open
us.
Or investigate.
Are you counting, Christy?
No.
Investigate, investigate, open, 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 investigate. Uh-oh.
I think there's more opens and investigates.
That's
at
how it
this
appears in the
point.
place.
Some people are typing it multiple times, but that only counts once.
It only counts once.
Brandy's like, read mine.
Don't worry. We're going to cover a teaser of whatever side does not get picked tonight.
I don't remember which choice leads to my page. Kathy
Oh,
says,
no,
wait,
it's pretty
investigate.
Uh-oh.
Do we need to go back up and
I think so.
Yeah.
do
Here,
a
you
count?
count the investigates.
Okay.
I'll count open.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Are we going
Yeah,
all the
but
way up?
scroll
It starts with
slower.
Kelly.
Wait,
No,
no,
it
it's
doesn't.
a,
It starts with
it
G.
goes
Never mind.
farther up.
No.
It goes
Oh,
way up.
gosh.
Okay.
Oh my.
Ah, okay, now
Okay.
there. Okay.
It's all these writers. They know which
Yeah.
way.
You
Tell me when.
go slowly.
This is fast. This is as slow as I can go.
Okay.
I can go
Okay.
slower. This is really fun for everybody to watch.
Okay.
Maybe I'll do it in my old man voice.
Okay.
Investigate. Open the showcase. Oh, either
I'm
way,
counting.
it's going to be fun.
Oh wow, this is great.
Yeah, we got a lot of votes
This
coming in.
is the best adventures in reading ever.
Well, yeah, we're invested. Investigate.
We are.
Ah,
Ah,
It's so close. Like
okay. Whoop.
ah.
No, we're still going way
Someone
down.
just said Bennett.
Gene, don't worry. We have all of our Facebook and YouTube comments aggregated.
All right, where we
in the
at?
Software.
I got 18.
I had 22.
It looks
Okay.
like we're
Are we
opening it.
opening?
We're opening.
Whew,
Okay.
Here we go.
Allow
Christy,
it.
do you want to take over?
Sure. Although
Okay.
I don't know if I should be following Adam's performance.
Yeah, you got a lot to live up
So
to.
just as a reminder before Christy starts, no one knew what was coming next. So literally this was like a game of telephone. I handed it to Adam. I had a preconceived notion of like, oh, this is where I would take it. And then Adam took it one way. And then it started to bisect multiple times. And it just got crazier and crazier.
Okay. So this is
Okay.
written by Abbott Jones.
Abbott.
You turn to meet Mac's gaze. His smile is framed by wrinkles, but his saucer eyes shine like a kid's on Christmas morning. You give him a conspiratorial grin. Yeah, Mac, let's see what's in the suitcase, you say, waving him over. As Mac breezes towards the counter, the briny smell of the boiled peanuts wafts in his wake. Tempting, but the suitcase holds your attention. It is a dark leather overnight satchel made to look old-fashioned but still shiny with newness. A matching luggage tag dangles from the handle. Matt grunts a little as he heaves it onto the counter. It's heavier than it looks. Nope, I can't.
That's good. That's
I
good.
tried.
That's good. Yeah, keep it
going.
up.
It's heavier than it looks, he quips. The woman behind the counter chuckles, and you notice her faded plastic name tag says Deborah. You slide the suitcase closer and lift the luggage tag. Amelia Williams, you read out loud, and there's a phone number, but I don't recognize the area code. Not from around here, Max says, bumping your arm with his elbow. I told you.
Yeah.
You grab the brass zipper pull. You grab the brass zipper pull, but hesitate. The moment is still and silent, but for the cicadas chirping through the darkness outside. Looking up, both Mac and Deborah give you nods of approval. You pull, and the zipper glides easily. The leather is stiff and unworn, and it squeaks as you pull the sides open. You thought you might find the usual necessities for a weekend getaway: a change of clothes, some toiletries, maybe a paperback book. You thought wrong. Deborah knits up her eyebrows as she leans over the bag to get a better look. What is all this stuff? Mac asks as he pulls out the first two items. A blue diary with a stylish fountain pen in the pen loop, and a half-eaten Snickers bar with the wrapper twisted and tucked under. Oh, we
little
got
bit
a repeat
little
paragraph.
No, we don't.
Page
No, we
6.
don't.
Nope.
This
fine.
is the pre-version.
Yeah.
This is why we're.
You shake your head in response as you unpack the remaining contents one by one and place them on the counter along with the candy and the blue diary. First is a small floral pouch monogrammed with a yellow W. Deborah peeks inside and notes it is filled with prescription and over-the-counter medicine bottles. Next is a purple velveteen pouch tied up with a thin satin ribbon. In your hand, it feels like it contains maybe dice or uncut jewels, a thought you conceal from the others. Then Deborah pulls out a lightweight fleece jacket with many pockets wadded up around something L-shaped that falls to the counter with a blunted clang. Oh my, Deborah shouts, clutching her hands to her chest. Her phone is still in her hands, but forgotten now. Matt carefully picks up the fallen parcel, a vintage silk scarf depicting horses in the countryside wrapped loosely around a classic film noir revolver. It's loaded, Mac exclaims, checking the ammunition. Huh, you say, as you unpack a stack of envelopes. Several are opened, addressed to Mr. and Mrs. Williams, with letters inside. One is sealed and not yet mailed, and it is addressed to Dr. John Smith in London. Underneath the letters, you find a gold frame containing a 5x7 photo of a young couple laughing, her arms thrown around his neck with smiling pupils slightly blurred in the background. That's the couple from the car, says Mac helpfully. It's an obvious observation, but you do not say so. Deborah takes the frame to inspect the photo. I don't recognize them, she declares after a beat. Mac just nods. Not from around here. Near the bottom of the suitcase, you find a wooden box roughly the size of a hardback novel. The box is locked, but you jiggle it and hear there is something inside. Aha! Shouts Mac. There's a key! He's beaming as he pulls a small silver key out of the satchel's side pocket. He eagerly takes the box from you and tries the lock. Aw, man, he deflates. It doesn't fit. Huh, you say again unhelpfully. And last but not least, you announce, pulling the final item from the suitcase, a towel. White, smelling fabric softener, not monogrammed, just a towel.
That's odd.
What in the world, you think to yourself? Based on the looks on their faces, Mac and Deborah are wondering the same thing. Turn to page 11. Oh, and this has a
So that
illustration.
So I think one of the coolest things. Great job, Christy.
Thanks.
I think one of the neatest things for me was to see how the illustrators brought some of our actual stuff to life. And I know, like, I was flattered by some stuff, but like when you look at it, you can't see it well here, but there's the bag with don't look what's in the box, but it actually has
Spoiler.
Amelia's name on the tag.
Ooh.
And then Kira did a great rendering of the handgun
gun.
and the scarf.
Yeah.
So, it's just really cool. I think as a writer, when you saw some of this stuff realized visually, you're like, oh, that's mine. That came out of my head. And it was so fun. Just as an aside, like, it was so fun for me to read Abbott's stuff. And it's like, it was just a treat every time I got a submission to read it and unpack what everyone provided, because I never knew where it was going. So do you want to read?
Yes.
Okay.
Here we go.
Did we say
Page
next page?
11.
Page 11.
Page 11.
11.
Thank you.
Whose is this?
Oh, this is
This
fair.
is written by Sverre
Thorvaldsen.
Thorvaldsen. I've asked you so many times to tell me how to pronounce your name, and I'm really sorry. But to be fair, I always call you Sverre and not Mr. Thorvaldsen.
Don't worry, Jay. We're going to touch on that ruby ring.
Oh, we're going to get there.
We're going to touch on it.
Right, clear your throat again?
I'm gonna go back and look at that later. That was the 2222 mark. Oh, the toost mark. Okay, sorry. After a minute, you ask Mac, "Do you think they'll come back for her suitcase?" He looks at you quizzically. "You saw the light. They're gone." I made him real southern. He taps the leather bag. "It's our stuff now. If it were mine, I'd come back for it," you say, while placing items back in the suitcase. "Well, luckily it ain't yours," Deborah snaps, examining the couple in the photo. Undeterred, you continue, but when you grab hold of the velveteen pouch, you pause to see if they're watching you. They are not, so you pocket it. Ooh. Deborah turns the frame over and says, "Well, that's weird. There's something written on the back." She doesn't wait for you to ask what it is before she starts reading out loud. "Grand Hotel of St. Thomas, Bay Underwater Scuba Tours, East Reserve Shore." She turns it back over. "I guess that's where they took the picture." Trying to find an excuse to look in the pouch, you say, "Maybe I should go fill my tank and get out of here." Mac nods but doesn't look at you. "Good idea." Once you get to your truck and start pumping the fuel, you check to see if Mac and Deborah are looking. Mac is inspecting each item as he puts them in the suitcase, and Deborah is back on her phone. Being extra cautious, you open the truck door to block their vision. Ooh, you sneaky. As the numbers click by on the pump, you pull out the velveteen pouch. A nervous excitement pours over you as you slip the ribbon off. Even under the dull overhead fluorescent bulbs, when the pouch opens, you see the unmistakable glow of gold! Your mind screams and you look up to check on the pair in the shop. Satisfied that they are still ignoring you, you examine the pouch and your smile grows even wider. You stare at a piece and see markings on it. They look odd, almost foreign. You want to bring it out for a closer look, but don't. Instead, you put the pouch back in your pocket. The pump stops, signaling your cue to leave. As you close the gas tank lid, a chill goes through you. The air temperature has suddenly dropped. The hair on the back of your neck stands straight up. You are not alone. The warm, dank air of an exhaled breath runs past you. Okay, thank you. You close your eyes and grimace, waiting for an impact. Realizing nothing is coming, you open one eye, then the other, and search the area. You release a sigh, thinking you've imagined it all. Looking at the truck's back window, you see your reflection and more. The woman who left her suitcase and ran off into the woods appears next to the gas pump, standing a foot away from you. "Amelia!" You turn to face her. The woman you barely saw earlier now consumes your mind. She's not the same as she was when you first saw her. Her physical appearance and demeanor have changed somehow, but you find yourself unable to focus on the details. Her emerald green eyes are partially hidden behind a veil of curly auburn hair, but they still hold you in a trance. She smiles and speaks. What if I give her a really stupid voice? I'm just like,
Hello.
Like Fran from The Nanny.
She smiles and speaks. "Suitcase." I won't,
No.
I'm sorry.
Damn, that was a
You gotta
choice.
You gotta fix that. You gotta fix
She
that.
smiles and speaks. "Suitcase." Hearing her voice breaks your spell, and you ask her, "What?" She lifts her hand and, holding your gaze with her own, repeats, "My suitcase. Where is it?" You could play dumb and tell her you have no idea what suitcase she's talking about, but there is something about her that makes it impossible for you to lie to her. So you don't. You raise your hand and point back to the store. And it's in there. Before she can say another word, you notice the necklace she has on. It is a simple silver chain, but the object at the end of it catches your eye. There, almost covered up by her gray cloak, is a key. You make out some of the same markings that are on the gold you found in the pouch. You think about the wooden box Mac couldn't open and wonder to yourself, I have the gold, and what's in the box? What's in the box? It's not written that way, I'm sorry. Okay. Amelia's eyes beam at you for a second as though she's trying to decide what to do with you. Finally, she breaks her gaze and heads toward the store. Why are you laughing?
Dan.
Okay.
I do sign language with my face.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. I lost my place. Okay. Finally, she breaks her gaze and heads towards the store. As quickly as the temperature dropped, it returns to normal. You don't want to wait around and find out what happens when she goes in the store and sees her suitcase has been rummaged. So you grab for your keys. She's almost to the door by the time you pull the keys out and jump in the truck. While you turn over the ignition, you hear the distinct sound of a gun going off. Fear grips you and you fumble with the gear shift, forgetting about the clutch. You've used a manual transmission for years, but with each shot that rings out, your ability to find the gear lessens. You look over at the door and you see Amelia victoriously strolling out, head held high with a suitcase in her hand. Her smile says it all. The devil inside her won. She looks at you as she walks in front of your truck as if memorizing your soul and then heads back into the woods.
You just had your soul memorized.
Yeah. That's...
Creepy.
That's going to be on the test later.
Oh my God. Okay. You know you should go in and check on Mac and Deborah, but you remember the gold in your pocket. If she did that to them over her bag, what will she do to me once she realizes the gold is gone? Finally, shifting the transmission into first, you head out down the road and make it a point not to look back. You know, my God. Sorry.
These sections are longer than a traditional choose your own adventure. I'll just say
I'm
that.
out of breath.
But we wanted to give everyone an opportunity to write.
Whew. Okay. You notice the light from your phone pointing straight up from the ground. Nope.
No, wait. No, you were done. Yeah, you were done. You're done. That's what I was about to say.
17.
Well,
point not to look back.
so I do have to say, bravo, Sphere. Sphere gave Adam an Easter egg just for him.
Yes.
Can you say it again, because everyone loved how you said it?
What?
The title here.
Oh, do I have to
Read
say
it
it like
again.
Deborah?
Yes.
This is how Deborah would read it if she looked at it. Grand Hotel of St. Thomas Bay Underwater Scuba Tours East Reserve Shore.
So if you
It's an acronym.
it's an acronym for Adam's favorite.
Ghostbusters.
Sphere wrote Ghostbusters just for you, Adam. So we got Ghostbusters into this
That's
book.
so cute.
So bravo, Sphere.
Romance.
You win.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Oh, I like this one. Okay.
Wait, give me my juice back.
Yes.
Thank you.
Are y'all having fun? I hope you're having fun. Cheers to everyone.
I'm having fun. I'm sweaty. That was very
This was
exciting.
good. This is good.
Okay.
This is now Matt Scalisi, and Matt wrote some good stuff.
I hope there's
Matt's a good
Mr.
Southern
Belvedere
boy.
in here.
There's no Mr. Belvedere, unfortunately. All right, so we left off. We just got our truck into gear.
Yes.
It takes several miles of driving before you finally stop hearing your heartbeat pulsing in your ears. Your mind continues to pore over every detail of the events back at Max, trying to make some sense of what happened and assess the threat it might still pose to you. Finally, the cold light of logic starts to settle in. I'm going to be fine, you reassure yourself. It's all over, and soon you'll be on the beach drinking enough cheap beer to make sure you don't remember any of it. But one question continues to nag at your curiosity. What was the flash of light in the woods? Everything else makes at least some kind of sense. Misunderstandings happen. Random acts of violence happen. But flashes of light in the woods? Just as your brain circles back around to the memory of the flash, another sudden flash of light enters your peripheral vision, this time coming from your rear view mirror. The cops. Damn. You must have lost track of how fast you were driving as you tried to speed away from Max. You pull over to the shoulder of the narrow highway, barely able to get your car all the way off the road without driving into the ditch separating the road and the dense pine woods. You fumble for your wallet and notice the officer, decked out in full rural sheriff's department tan regalia, getting out of his car behind you. He approaches your window and peers in, mirrored sunglasses and wide brim hat obscuring most of his face. "How you doing today, traveler?" he asks with a broad, toothy grin. Sorry, sir, I was speeding back there," you reply politely. No, nothing like that. You were driving just as fine as a frog's hair," he says, continuing to grin back at you. An awkward silence passes. "Okay, what can I help you with, officer?" you finally say back. "Well, it seems we had a little bit of a fracas a few miles back at a place called Max. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?" "Well, seems we had just a little bit
no,
of a.
you didn't.
Oh,
Nope,
what did I?
that's not a
Nope,
typo.
that's not a
Keep
typo.
going.
Sorry. Yep. The officer continues staring at you with a grin so wide it seems almost as though someone had painted it on his face. His eyes remain hidden behind his mirrored aviator glasses, which he wears despite the deepening darkness. No, sir, I'm just on my way to the beach," you say, lying by omission. It's true that, in fact, you don't have any idea what happened back at Max. "I did stop for some gas back there, but I just kept right on driving after that. Well, you see a lady friend of mine back there, real sweet girl. She seems to be missing something that's real important to her. Thinks she left it back at Max, and she seems to have it in her pretty little head that you might have taken it accidental like. What you think?" Your heart begins to thump in your ears again, sweat beating up on your palms and forehead. The pouch you took from Amelia's bag remains in your pocket. You've got nearly full tank of gas waiting to be burned. Now, Adam, are you ready to take a shot? All right. If you hand over the pouch, turn to page 30. If you step on the gas, turn to page 45. So,
Right. Are you going to hand it over or step on the gas? Also, I would like to point out that your sheriff started out as Sam Elliott and then turned into Friar Tuck from
Friar
Robin Hood
Tuck.
when he's like the badger or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, here come the votes.
Okay, wait. Christy, you count hand over. I'll count step on the gas.
Okay, here's where it starts with Philip.
Okay.
Step on it, gas. You ready? Are you following me?
Yes.
Following me?
Mhm.
Oh, I jumped.
Where'd it go? Okay, no, I got it.
You got it?
Vroom, vroom, bitches. Sorry.
It's definitely step on the gas.
Step on the gas.
It's
Everybody's ready to just
Yeah.
go.
That's pretty clear.
All right, Adam's turn.
Step on the gas.
Okay.
Okay, this one,
That's right. Yes. Page 45.
it's written by A. Hollis. Your mama did not raise any fools. You know crazy when you see it and smash the gas pedal. If that sheriff's deputy had been legitimate, he would have taken a minute to run your plates and ask for a license. That creature in the aviator glasses was not bona fide. The only legitimate thing happening tonight is the adrenaline surging through your body. You're beach bound and down. You roll down your window to let a cool, salty breeze waft into the cab. A mossy sign ahead points towards State Road 13. It's the only paved road to the beach house. You need to get past a farm stand, dirt track, and bait shop before the final bridge to the island. You are almost home free. You make the hard right turn. Your breathing slows as you realize you are alone on the unlit 2-lane road. Ouch, you say aloud as you reach into your pocket to find the gold heavy velveteen pouch. That gold is hotter than a Carolina Reaper pepper. After removing the scalding hot bag from your pocket, You realize that the bag is so hot that your pocket fabric smells singed.
Hmm.
You chuckle to yourself, thinking about how your uncle would accuse you of having money burning a hole in your pocket. Ha! He would be right. You wish he was here too. You place the bag in the empty passenger seat. Gold, real or fake, is not a very liquid asset. What were you thinking? That you were going to sell stolen gold at the flea market? You reckon some revenuers would descend on you before you could even weigh the medallions? You are an accidental thief. As you are reasoning with yourself, you see a car in the opposite lane approaching you. The oncoming sedan blinks their lights from low to high beams at you twice. You know this acts as a universal warning for police trouble ahead. This warning would be illegal in Louisiana. Good thing you're not in Louisiana.
It's true.
You downshift to second gear when you see the dark, piney night lighten to a charcoal gray ahead. You spot a roadside farm stand. It is lit up like the 4th of July. Red and blue lights flash across the empty red clay parking lot. It is a police checkpoint.
Oh, no.
A police officer in a yellow vest signals for you to stop. Trying to remain cool, you say, "Good evening, officer."
Good officer evening.
"The road to the dirt track is closed this evening. You won't believe what we found in the woods. You best turn around and head home. Anyone else in there with you?" The officer says in a serious monotone. "Oh, it's just me tonight. I'm actually headed to my uncle's house at the beach. Can I continue? I will be out of your way." "Is that a purple liquor bottle bag I see in your passenger seat?" the officer says, leaning into your window, noting the in plain sight velveteen pouch. He moves to get his flashlight. A different police officer surprises you by tapping on the passenger side window. She starts pointing at the bag. She has her hand on her side piece. Black hair frames her mirrored aviator sunglasses. The black-haired officer flicks the restraining strap off her holster in a clear sign of aggression. You turn to the first officer near your window, only to find that he vanished. Looking back to the new officer, you notice that she is not pointing a standard police-issued 9mm Glock at you. It is the antique Colt 38 revolver from Amelia's satchel.
Oh, no.
Emerald green eyes glow faintly through the mirrored sunglasses. There is no way to conceal the bag. You feel like the wind has been knocked out of you. You are now in real trouble.
No.
What?
Christy's turn.
Oh, we got a new author.
Oh, a new author.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was just ready to...
Oh, see, this is good. Page
All right.
turners, y'all.
I know, stuff is happening.
So that's true about Louisiana. You cannot do the bright flashes.
What if it was an accident? Oh, boom, boom, whoops.
That it came up in our conversation. I was like,
I
is that
did not
true?
know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You're not allowed to warn people? That seems sketchy.
Well, these are sketchy police.
That's right.
So this part was written by Daniel Lafferty.
Dan.
Dan the man.
In the span of a very panicked heartbeat, you realize how this day has gone from pleasant to odd to unnerving to downright horrifying in the span of less than an hour. Listen, ma'am, I'm sure there's just been a Bang! What? Thank you, guys. You would scream if you could find your voice. The gun had not been aimed at you, but it also hadn't been far off. You see the shattered glass of the passenger window and a hole in the windshield where she'd fired at an angle.
She shot your car.
To scare you or to show you she means business. Now hold on a sec. Bang! The second shot goes through the rear driver's side window. The pattern is clear. Everything comes in threes, and there's only one more direction for her to aim. Right down the middle, right through your head. You turn to look at where the windshield was shot and see a literal mob in the road. Coming towards you is the other officer leading a pack of locals. They are all coming toward you at a steady, almost uniform pace. They're actually marching, you think hysterically. Their stride is long, their purpose is sure, and their eyes are as unnatural, their eyes are an unnatural iridescent green. They are absolutely glowing.
Dan, did you write a zombie story?
You glance down at the pouch on the seat beside you and notice that it has begun to scorch away. The gold inside of it is actually searing the pouch, burning right through it. The officer sees you look down at it and she follows your gaze. Seeing the smoking pouch, her face breaks into an unseemly, unnatural grin of a menace. You look back at the oncoming pack of locals. They are gaining ground fast, approaching your car at a rate far too swift for your comfort. There's been a change now, though. You discover that every single one of them is holding a firearm, just like the Colt being aimed at you, and every single one of them is pointed at you as well. You notice as you watch them approach that there is more glowing up the road ahead. much like that in the woods. The glows are looming in the approximate locations of the dirt track and the bait shop you know to be there. To your right, the glow in the woods has grown, spreading through all of the trees in every direction. To your left is just wide, empty land and utter darkness. Enough darkness to blend into if you run for it, though? In a panic, you try to sort out how best to escape this mess. You consider putting the car back in gear and plowing forward right through the mob. While considering your options, you realize that the female officer is reaching her arm through the shattered window towards the fiery object beside you. There is that is no ordinary gold, you realize, and these guys want it bad. You realize that this could be a question of saving yourself or doing the greater good. If all that these brainwashed figures want is the package, you can let them have it. There's a good chance they'll let you go then, right? Or you could drive off with it, slam the accelerator, and run down the mob, driving off into the unknown glow ahead of you, hopefully keeping the objects safe from their evil purposes, whatever they might be. But couldn't it hurt you? What if it burns down the whole car? What if it burns down the whole car around you? What if you kill these people? People, you think to yourself, shuddering, and find yourself guilty of the deaths of several or even dozens of people. But what if you make a run for it, leave the gold for them, and they still come after you, or just shoot you down? Or what if something even graver and more sinister comes from either of your options? You don't recall ever having been so scared, or ever having less of an idea of what the right thing to do is, and the mob is almost on top of you.
Ugh,
He's gonna pee in his
it's
truck.
tense.
Just know
Take
it.
a shot. No?
Do it again.
Take a
No,
shot.
you got to warn me.
It's time to. This first time.
That's good. That's good.
If you mow down the mob, turn to page
Wait.
53. If you leave the gold and run, turn to page 62. So your choices are
Mow down.
mow down or leave the gold.
What was that sound that you made, Adam, though? Your first time you
So I
Okay, I'll do leave the gold and you do mow down.
Okay.
Here
Counting.
they come.
All right. Counting the mowers.
Whoa, there they are.
Wait, what did I say you were going to do?
I'm counting the mowers.
Okay,
I guess this is a mow one.
yeah.
Run, mow. I'm scared. Leave the gold. Oh,
Ah!
it jumped.
Wait, we were past here.
We were?
Mm-mm.
No, we weren't.
No?
These are
Holy
there's
moly.
part of me. There's
Oh
part,
my
there's
God.
part of
Here
me
we
that
are,
wants
here
to
we are,
call
here we
an
are.
audible here
Why?
because I really want to see.
But no, the people
You know-
have
Okay,
spoken.
the people have
The people
The
spoken.
people have spoken
spoken.
and they want to mow it.
They clearly
They
want to
clearly wanna mow it.
down the
They wanna
mob.
mow.
Okay.
They want to mow. 53.
I will just say this:
53.
if we go mow down the mob, we're going to get really deep into this side of the story.
I mean,
If
that's
we want to see,
this-
I really want to explore a little bit more of the other side, just to
You
give
have to
everyone a
listen
hint.
to
The people have
All right, the
spoken.
people
Your
have
opinion
spoken.
doesn't matter.
All right, I guess you got to
All right,
get a
homage-
copy of the book.
Homages.
Yeah. Oh no.
All right. This section was written by Becky Johnson.
Becky.
Hi, Becky.
Hi, Becky. Okay.
No metagaming, Lucas. I'm sorry, Abbott. I'm trying to be fair.
As your fight or flight response takes over, you decide it's you or them. Something in your gut tells you that no gesture of goodwill is going to get you out of this alive. You may live to regret this, but you decide the only way out is through. Woo! Becky, I like it. Without even realizing you are doing it, you shift into drive and slam the gas pedal to the floor. In the split second before your truck lurches forward, you glance over towards Amelia, and the look on her face tells you this is the right decision. It is a combination of bloodlust and desperation. Hesitate for even a second, and you're dead. No second chances.
Mm.
Everything seems to be moving in slow motion as you move closer and closer to the mob. You, Adam,
You're driving. You're not running.
you recall a movie you watched with your uncle years ago. What was the name of it? Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's it. These guys look like they could be extras, but this is no movie set. There's no director to step in and yell cut so you can all go out for a beer afterward and share entertaining stories with one another. This is real. You are mere inches from the crowd now, and as you brace for impact, the dashboard suddenly erupts with music. The radio turns on and begins to jump from station to station. Ooh, that's scary. Impossibly, your mind recognizes the voice of Rick Springfield longing for his best friend's girl, followed by static. Then terror takes over as your truck inexplicably stops, and a blindingly bright light fills your entire field of vision. You've seen this light before, but this time it's not off in the distance. This time it's here for you. The tears are flowing freely now, wetting your face as you come to terms with the fact that you are indeed going to die. You never really had a choice. Your fate was sealed the moment you decided to pocket that little purple pouch. Eyes closed, you wait on death to take you. But it doesn't. Instead, there is silence. No static, no voices, just complete, heavy silence. Through closed eyes, you can tell the light is gone as quickly as it came. You slowly open your eyes, afraid of what sight is going to greet you. You imagine a sea of faces with empty, glowing green eyes ready to drag you from the safety of your truck, but instead, the road is empty. No people, no red and blue lights flashing in the thick darkness, nothing. You look in the passenger seat and see the pouch that could easily be mistaken for a Crown Royal bag sitting there. You were sure it would be gone. You look inside to find that the coins have gone cold. The unrecognizable markings seem benign, like this could just be the currency of a country you've never visited. You feel compelled to protect these strange coins, at least until you can find out what the markings mean. A wave of relief washes over you and you realize it's over, at least for now. You're alive. As the fear leaves your body, you begin to think logically once again. Are you going crazy? Dementia does run in the family, but you're still a little young for that. Did you fall asleep at the wheel and somehow miraculously end up safe after having a terrible nightmare? Sleepwalking is a real thing. Could sleep fighting be a thing too? Best to get moving and end this road trip from hell. You can figure it out later. As you start the truck to head towards the beach house, a chill runs down your spine. Oh, I wish that I had Jesse's girl. How can I find a woman like that? You stare in disbelief at the radio and start to think that maybe you aren't the world's first confirmed sleep driver. Your eyes are drawn to the glowing LED numbers displaying the time. How could it be this late? You remember glancing down at the time as you were pulling away from Max. That seemed like maybe 30 minutes ago, but 20 hours have passed. Where did the time go? What?
Oh,
I'm sweating.
now we have to pay Rick Springfield.
No, he totally signed on.
Oh,
Totally.
she sang the song.
Yeah.
No, I
live
didn't.
No,
stream.
he was
It was
like,
pitchy,
I
so it
reached
doesn't
out to
count.
him. That's true. If it's not true.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. I was joking. I was trying to
Give it back. You
I
don't
was-
get to read the
I was
next
trying to cover our asses so we don't have to pay
Ball.
royalties.
That's fine. You know.
Okay. Joking. All right, this is by Peter D. Murphy.
Peter!
This is ridiculous, you think. Clearly, you've been driving too long. Fell half asleep at the wheel and hallucinated the whole thing. No more gas station food for you. You look away from the road for a moment and see the bag of coins sitting quietly on the seat. No heat, no flames, no weird glowing ruins. There's also no sign of damage to the bag. Maybe your brain was playing games due to the guilt stealing the bag. Although you don't feel guilty. You look back at the road and realize you're not where you were moments before. You slam on the brakes and come to a screeching halt. What the? You exclaim. The road you're now on is overhung with large, dark, scraggly trees. Bare branches hang low over the road, looking like clawed hands reaching out to grab your truck. They sway slightly in the wind, creaking and waving menacingly. But they are just trees. Trees that weren't there a few seconds ago. You glance at the clock and see another 2 hours have passed. Of course. You look back at the bag of coins and notice the faint flicker of a glow fading away. The bag looks normal enough, but something impossible just happened. Did the coins bring you here? Were you asleep? In a trance? What the heck is going on? So much for your gas station food theory. No amount of cheesy taquitos could explain all this. That sounds really good.
Oh, yeah, I need a hundred.
There's no way you're getting out of your truck with those trees looming over you, so you ease on the gas and begin moving down the road. It's gotten very dark, and your headlights cause shadows to dance between the trees, making you jump at things that are clearly not there. You'd swear, though, that sometimes the shadows are leaning into the light instead of being pushed away by it. As you slowly come around a bend in the road, you see a large house sitting on a hill to the right. Sitting isn't quite the right word. Looming, hulking, windows like dark pits glower down at the road below. Even though it's dark, you can somehow see the house clearly. At first, it looks like a fairly modern house that's fallen into disrepair. Then you think it maybe looks like an old Victorian manor. Then you're not sure. It's an archetypal, creepy old house and doesn't seem to fit any particular style. It's a house. The house is surrounded by more of the scraggly trees, though most of these ones aren't quite as bare. A few leaves, bits of moss, and some vines clothe the trees in the ragged remains of finery. There's a long driveway leading from the main road to the house, perfectly lined with smaller trees, soldier straight, yet somehow just as scraggly as the rest. Nope, nope, nope. You think there's just no way you're going near that thing. This isn't a Scooby-Doo mystery. There's not going to be an old farmer in a rubber mask up there. No big reveal of old man McCracken all along. This is a sort of house where people go to die. You've seen more than enough movies. You know how this ends. You brake and pull a U-turn, headed down the road away from the house. You'll get back to the road you're supposed to be on and find your uncle's beach house. Suddenly, the bag of coins blazes with heat and light, the cloth from the bag smoldering and filling the truck's cabin with the scent of scorched velvet. There's a flash of light. Then suddenly you find yourself pulling up the driveway to the house's front door. The bag of coins glows briefly, then fades into innocuousness. Ooh. Just one more impossible event in a completely impossible evening. You put the truck into park, turn off the power, and rest your forehead on the steering wheel. You sigh. Apparently, you're in too deep to turn back. Literally.
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 All right. I will say this is the longest section in one writer coming up. But it's good.
Is it me?
Yep.
Yep.
Ha, hee hee, ha ha, hee hee.
Good job, Peter.
Okay, here we go.
It is. It's
Don't warn him. Just let me.
I'll read it real
It's
fast.
good.
it's 5 pages.
All right.
Go for it.
Do
Do I start on
Give me my-
56?
Give me my juice.
This is 57?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This one is Julie Wheeler. Wait, no.
So Julie and Chris Nicholson, they were the only two writers that had a decision point that had 3 different decisions. So Julie and Chris both had a lot to set up within their sections.
Spoiler alert.
So
Here we
I
go.
say the longest, not in a bad way. It's just Julie had a lot of stuff to set up with the 3 decisions. So we're gonna,
homework.
yeah, Julie had homework, and she's a doctor, like during COVID. So like,
For real.
bravo to Julie and all of our healthcare workers.
Okay. You turn to look at the purple velveteen pouch sitting on your passenger seat. What is this gold? Why did I grab it? I should have left it at Max. Then I'd be at the beach house right now, enjoying a cold beer and an ocean breeze on the back porch.
All right,
That's
Shatner.
William
Oh,
Shatner.
stop.
Christopher Walken.
A feeling of inevitability washes over you and settles in the pit of your stomach. I guess we're doing this. You grab the pouch, tuck it in. It's your inner monologue.
Hey, grab
Tuck it in your pocket and head for the front door of the house. As you ascend the porch steps, the front door slowly groans open, unassisted. No groans? Okay. Entering cautiously, you feel fear and dread mount as you look around slowly, but you see nothing but cobwebs and dark wooden paneling. The front door suddenly slams shut behind you, creating a
Slam.
gust of wind that propels you forward several steps into a large open foyer with a grand staircase. You whip back around to the front door, but there's nothing there. Turning back to face the foyer, you are caught off guard by the presence of a hooded figure standing before you, and you let out a startled cry. Ah! The hooded figure raises its hand, seemingly reaching for you, and you freeze. But the figure's hands don't stop. They continue to rise, eventually coming to a stop on the edges of the hood, pulling down the deep cowl to reveal its face. Uncle Jack, you exclaim.
What?
The last person you expected to see here is your great Uncle Jack. He died 5 years ago with no children or grandchildren of his own. He left you his beach house because he knew you loved it as much as he did. What are you doing here? How are you here? What is going on? You spit out in a fluster. Well, I've been waiting for you, he says with a grin on his face. He's also got Mac's voice.
We had to dual cast him. We didn't have the budget.
We've got a lot to catch up on, he says. Follow me.
No, he's Batman.
No, he's Batman. He leads you to deep into the old house. Eventually, you find yourself in a large room with 3 walls lined floor to ceiling with shelves filled with books. A ladder on each wall allows access to the highest reaches of each bookshelf. On one wall, a large stone fireplace commands attention. This is the library, Uncle Jack says. It's my favorite room in the house. He gestures for you to have a seat in one of the 2 large leather club chairs that flank a small round table in front of the fireplace. Here's another, just a little fix here.
No,
It's good.
we're good.
Perfect.
He hands you a glass of bourbon and says, I thought you might need a drink. We don't have long before the Williamses arrive, and I have some things I need to tell you. Williams? Do I know any Williamses? The name pricks your memory and briefly conjures flashes of emerald green eyes and black hair.
Oh, no.
As you sink into the chair, the memory of the events of tonight come crashing back into your mind, crowding out the joy you feel at seeing your great uncle Jack again. You take a sip of bourbon to steady yourself. Jack tells you that you are descended from a long line of magical warriors who have been fighting evil in all forms for centuries. He instructs you of your ancestors' parts in world history, events that you barely remember reading about in high school history class, but now seem crystal clear in the context of your family's involvement. He goes on to explain that he had to fake his death in order to avoid drawing suspicion as he grew older. Jack lets you digest what he says, or what he said, and takes a sip from his own bourbon glass. But why are you here in the... Okay.
I choked. It was worth it. Okay.
But why are you here in this creepy house? The air of abandonment and isolation keeps the locals away. And the occasional would-be ghost hunter who comes looking for an adventure in a haunted house quickly runs off once I throw out a few tricks to scare them away, he explains. I've been waiting here for you to grow a little older and wiser, for your magic to come in. You stutter in reply. I don't have any magic. Of course you do, he states without hesitation. How do you think you found that gold? Found your way here? You were drawn to the gold pieces because your power connects you to them. And the gold is the key to the portal that led you here. As Jack speaks, you glance around the library, taking in more of your surroundings. You notice that there is a whole wall of books that have characters carved on their spines, very similar in appearance to the markings you saw on the gold. You pull the purple velveteen pouch out of your pocket and open it up again. As you do, the gold emanates a warm, glowing light, and the characters carved on them seem to glitter more sharply in contrast. Those characters are runes, Jack explains. They act as keys to portals all over the world. Portals of both time and space. There are those who would seek the golden keys. There are those who would seek the golden keys in order to wreak havoc on our world, to sow chaos and despair. It has been my duty, and the duty of our ancestors, to safeguard these portal keys for centuries. And now, if you join me, it will be your duty as well.
Duty.
Oh.
Hey, I said duty. You look up from the gold pieces in your hand and meet Jack's eyes. And what if I don't want to join you? I just wanted to spend a weekend at the beach, and now I'm suddenly a magical warrior in a lifelong quest against evildoers? I don't know any magic. I don't know how to fight. I'm no warrior. What the hell, Uncle Jack? Jack looks back at you somberly. He says quietly, I understand the way you feel. And you do have a choice in this matter. You do not have to take up the fight with me. If you choose this life, it must be a decision made of your own free will. He takes the gold from your hands and pulls 2 pieces out, placing them before you on the table. The firelight reflects off the gold in a hazy shimmer, the face of each piece presenting a different rune to you. Jack gestures to the first gold rune. This key will take you back to the old road leading to the beach house. If you hold it and wish it so, the portal will transport you back there. You can go on, have your beach weekend, and forget about me. The power hidden in you will atrophy with disuse, and you will go on living an unmagical life just as you had up till now. Your remembrance of this evening will fade, and I will go back to being dead in your memory. Jack points to the second gold rune. Now this key We'll transport you to a training facility in London run by Dr. John Smith. There you will receive lessons in wizardry and magical warfare. Once your training is complete, you will come back here and join me in power and knowledge that we will use together to protect the world from the evil forces that seek to harm it. Forces both seen and unseen. Which one sounds cooler to you? You think about the simple pleasures you were looking forward to this weekend. You reflect on the crazy drive this evening and the multiple times you felt frightened for your life in just a few short hours. You recall the larger-than-life presence of Uncle Jack in your life. A pang of grief grips you while remembering the day you heard that Jack had passed away. The deep sadness you felt at his funeral, realizing that you would never see him again and that you had not a chance to tell him goodbye. When you look up again at your great-uncle sitting in his chair nursing his bourbon, you are again hit with that sense of inevitability that struck you so heavily mere minutes ago outside. Your hand reaches toward the runes on the table when all of a sudden a bright flash of light outside beams into the house and is instantaneously gone again. I'm sorry, I thought we had a little more time, but those who seek the portal keys are seldom patient, Jack states grimly. He turns his head sharply towards the door of the library as a loud boom emanates from the front door of the house. I have to go greet our visitors, so I will make my goodbye to you now, he says as he stands up briskly to leave. Choose wisely. You know, good normal life or magic. He enjoins, choose wisely. He enjoins drawing back his cowled robe and revealing a wooden wand covered in familiar characters that you now recognize to be runes. Hastening out of the library, Jack frees the wand from his belt and brandishes it in his hand. Then Uncle Jack is gone, leaving you alone in the library with the two gilded runes. Each path before you marks a momentous decision that will change the course of your life forever. Without thinking any further, you decide. And it's time to... That came out of my headphones.
That was good. That was good.
Wow.
If you go to the beach, page 98. If you go to training, page 105. Or if you run after Jack, page 90. So we have beach, training, Jack. Beach, training, Jack. Beach, training, Jack. Vote.
Let's start
That was
counting.
good.
All right.
Lock in your votes
You count beach.
now.
I'll
Oh,
count
God.
training. You count
Oh,
Jack.
God.
Okay.
I'm training. Is that what I said? Yes. Okay.
Beach, beach, training, beach. Beach, training, training.
That's not helpful.
I know. I was like, wait, I already lost my place.
Yeah,
I'm singing them.
Where are you going? Up or
Yeah,
down?
wait,
Now I'm going, I got to find the top.
Okay. Okay.
My throat kind of hurts now.
You did very good.
You did what very
I'm
well.
doing Uncle Jack.
I-
That sounded wrong.
Yeah.
With your peanuts.
No. Are you counting?
Yeah. It's not Jack. We're not running after.
It's. I think it's training.
Some people just want to go to the beach. You know?
Gene, that's 4. I can see 4 right there.
Ooh.
And one of them is different.
One of them's not
No, that's not helpful. Oh man.
Oh, this is.
I'm not gonna lie, quit counting. I
I
think you're reading training.
All right, here we go. 105.
Okay. You're right.
they're all good,
Okay.
and we do get closer to an ending here.
Well, spoiler.
Here you go.
We're coming to the
Who's this by?
This one is by Brittany Resto. Wait, I didn't know you were doing that. Let me try.
Oh, I
again.
did it already.
This one is by Brittany Resto. You eye the different rune keys on the table. You have so many questions, but there is no time to search for answers now. Not one to run away from the not one to run away from the unknown. You grab the key to the training facility. I suspected that you would choose to train. A booming voice sounds behind you almost as soon as you make contact. When you turn, you face a man, large in every sense. He is tall, broad, and has the biggest beard you think you've ever seen. Are you Dr. Smith? I am. And in a manner of speaking, I am in a manner of speaking. Here, we go by code names. You will call me Cider. Welcome to your training with the Amaranthine.
Hey Brittany, how do you pronounce it? Because you're
Amaranthine.
here, you can tell us.
Amaranthian? I don't remember.
It's an enzyme
Worcestershire.
I do appreciate that John Smith has a code name. Welcome to your training with the Amaranthine. That's what we're going with. Let's begin. The room is not the library in which Uncle Jack revealed his secrets to you. Instead, it is open and simple in decoration in shades of peach and lavender. After observing the room, you notice Cider has vanished. When he reappears, he is behind you and then to either side. Then you are surrounded by what appears to be 12 Ciders at once. You walk up to each version of Cider and wave your hand in front of its face and give his shoulder a soft tap. They are all solid. Suddenly, 11 Cider bodies disappear. My specialty is teleportal magic, a gift we share. That is why you are training with me. You no doubt have noticed that time and locations are not how you normally experience them. Maybe you began in one place and ended up somewhere entirely different. Lost hours, perhaps? Yes. How? Was that my magic? Indeed, you need to learn to control it. Soon you will be able to do all of this and more, and then you will be able to face the Verdigris, like the Williamses, in battle. You think back to the moment at the police checkpoint and remember Amelia's glowing emerald eyes staring at the stolen pouch. What have I gotten myself into, you wonder, and Cider laughs. You take a deep breath. What do I need to do, you ask, ready for anything.
You're the best.
You got a nice little short one.
Here we go.
This one is written by Joe. Cracking Joe. Wait, can I do it again?
You already got it.
Oh man, I want the red. Sorry. You look into the cracked. Yes,
Is that next page?
Yeah.
I'm looking into a sink.
Yes.
Okay.
It'll come.
Don't question it.
Yes.
Sorry. You look into the cracked mirror above the sink in your room at the facility. It's the last day of training, and it won't be long before you will be back alongside Uncle Jack, fighting evil, wielding magic that you have now fully grown into, fighting Eldritars, and absolutely living your best warrior wizard life. Where has the time gone? Time. Well, time can be a funny thing. What started with the promise of slowing down and taking some time off, a nostalgic beach vacation at Uncle Jack's little cabin on the shore, quickly sped into a meeting with the Williamses, the Verdigris. This is Verdigris. Verdigris?
Yeah,
Verdigris.
Sure.
That's fine.
The Verdigris.
One more time.
The Verdigris. A young couple arguing in a car and a quick stop at a seedy gas station. From that point on, minutes, hours, days, they all became irrelevant. A few seconds pause to get a bag of boiled peanuts could have ended with your life draining out between your fingers alongside Max. And what was her name again? That old woman? That was
Deborah.
Deborah.
No, I'm reading it. That's how it's written.
Oh, sorry.
I'm acting.
Oh, sorry.
So
You got
well.
us.
Yeah.
You got us.
A few seconds pause to get a bag of boiled peanuts could have ended with your life draining out between your fingers alongside Mac. And what was her name again? The woman obsessed with her smartphone. Deborah. Yeah.
It was Deborah.
Was it curiosity, greed, or a drive to protect the gilded rune coins, the keys that brought about that bit of accidental theft that set the Williamses on you? What possessed you to run, to fight, to end up where you were? After all, you'd been barreling down a path towards a normal life, a simple life with some good music on the radio and as much happiness as a case of cheap beer could provide. Now you knew more. There is evil out there. Real evil with a capital E. It's capitalized. Okay.
Well done.
Did that knowledge bring happiness? Was there anything remotely simple anywhere? Not really. You guess time will tell. Time. You know, Einstein was right about time. It's an illusion. It varies depending on who's observing, and it speeds up or slows down depending on how fast you're moving compared to what's around you. Time is the basis of your magic, and Cider's magic as well. You still can't believe Dr. Smith's nickname came from a quote from that fantastic Mr. Fox children's book. Roald Dahl's a legend. Well, when it comes to teleportation, the keys just allow you to nudge time a bit forward or backward along the line. Not that time is a line at all, but that's besides the point. The Williamses never figured that out either. Time. As you look into your own eyes in this weathered mirror, you notice you've aged a bit. And you have a few more scars than when you started this journey in your beat-up old pickup truck. Here on graduation day, after all the twists and turns that led you here, it's easy to wonder how time has flown. After mastering the teleportal arts, real honest to goodness Latin encouraged but not required stuff, where manipulating temporal anomalies, ironing wrinkles in time, and playing with the fabric of space and time were literally a part of the intro course, you realize something. No matter the circumstances, your priorities are still the same as they have always been. When you're a wizard Harry moment came, you knew it was never about magic, about danger, about destiny, or even about the keys, although saving the world is generally seen as a good thing and is definitely worth including on your LinkedIn profile. No, all along, it was about family. Time had ripped Uncle Jack away, but that event was relative, just a perspective among many. He was never really gone. He was just waiting out of sight. You smile as you splash a bit of water on your face and adjust your coat. Uncle Jack, I'm coming soon. We're going to stop the Williamses. Those vertical monsters have no idea what they put in motion, and we are going to stop them together. We are going to make things right. Then we're going to meet up at the beach house by the shore. You bring the bourbon, I'll drop by Max and grab a case of cheap beer and some boiled peanuts. I hear his grandkids run the gas and stuff now, and that they definitely use the same recipe. Those billboards don't lie. These boiled peanuts will change your life. Wait, do the thing. The end.
Yay!
That is one of 13.
One of 13
different
endings.
endings.
So
Whoa.
y'all, to me, okay, this took 2 months for everyone to write. That was only one line out of 13.
That was so much better than any adventure book we have
Right.
ever done in Adventures in Reading
Like,
before. So much.
I do.
More fulfilling, better written, more fun, more interesting. I have to sneeze.
Don't do it.
Do it.
Really good.
And it flows, right? Like it
Yes.
flows from contributor to contributor, and it's
I'm very.
Dude,
Oh God!
yes. Oh, I felt
Okay.
it. Nice. On the
I
elbow.
am very impressed with where that went. It was like, y'all have such good imaginations.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And I'm seriously, that's only one side. The other, that's one section of the tree, and I wish we had time, but
also
we just
one ending out of 13.
one ending out of 13. And
Wow.
I will say that's one of the more positive endings. We've got
You
some,
get your money's worth.
there's some death, there's some really dark, like despair, but great endings where you like really thinker endings. There's sci-fi, there's fantasy, the whole other side that gets set up by Brandy Stroud and carried on by Jay sees you when you go into. I'll give you a sneak peek. You go into the woods and there's all these voices and it's really creepy, and you end up tripping and falling into an ash pile with all sorts of bones.
Oh, creepy.
And you find a ring, a golden ring, and that's what's represented here on the cover. So that's where, when you look at the cover, you have the two different lines of the story represented with the
That's
ring
awesome.
and the gold that I really wanted him to show. You also have the Amelia character kind of coming back in a totally different but awesome way.
It's
you
awesome.
you do end up at the
It'd
you
be
can't
really
do it
cool
all.
If we could read them all, but then there'd be no point in you
But we
reading the
can't.
book. We don't want to spoil it for you.
I don't want to spoil it for everyone, but
No, let's spoil it.
everyone's contribution,
That's right. Yeah.
like literally, it was like a gift to me that I was the first person to read it. Like, it was really cool. We kind of had a cadence where I would compile the edition, send it out to the new contributors on a Sunday, and they would have to like the next Friday or Saturday morning to get their contribution in, read through the line. Some people did kind of collaborate a little bit on their endings and stuff. So it was just really cool, very rewarding. If y'all want, please go support this. We've got a lot of plans, and we've got some other stories that we'd love to continue and work with more of you. If you have any interest in writing, please let us know. Shoot us an email at literarily.wasted@gmail.com.
Literarily wasted.
Lucas,
Literarily.wasted@gmail.com.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Christy and I are gonna hijack this live stream
Please
for a second
hijack it.
for
Yeah.
a very special surprise
Well,
presentation.
What?
First of
What?
all, Everybody, y'all did such an amazing job. This book is better than I could have thought. And Lucas, this would not have happened without you.
It's
It's
fun. It was
really
literally-
incredible.
Shut up. No, like this is a surprise. What are you doing? What are you doing?
So the contributors want to present you
Oh my God, it's a hard.
hardbound book, but it has a little extra
Oh.
in the front.
They all wrote messages for you.
Oh my God.
So just know
It is so awesome. Y'all, thank you. Like, look, y'all, look, this is a book that we made. We made that book.
and this is the only one. It's the only hardbound.
Justin, is it peanuts?
Is it
No,
peanuts?
it's not peanuts.
Oh, y'all, thank you so much. Like, for real, this was a passion project. I think, and I'll say it again, isn't that awesome? Oh my God, it looks so good.
Looks
It
really
so
good.
shiny.
I
love the dual
I think what I wanted most out of all of this was a way to connect with all of our members. Like, we have the best members, the best community out there, and for a reason for us all to connect with each other during a weird time in our lives. But I really hope that we can all look back at this and say, it smells great. Thank you. I hope that we can all look back at this and say, look, COVID sucked, but what's one thing cool that you did during this time? I wrote a book with 43 other people, and it was awesome, and who cares how it's received or how many we sell or whatever, but we did it, right? And that's the whole point of this entire thing, is that we made connections with people that we probably wouldn't have made connections with otherwise. And we created something, and I love creating things. I love working with creative people. It's what I've always done, and one thing I do pretty okay. So I really hope. Thank you, Christy, and thank you, Adam.
Oh, don't thank
this
us.
is
Well, I know,
but I mean,
this is the contributors.
But thank you, contributors. Like, for real, this was a real joy and a highlight of my year, highlight of COVID times.
Yeah,
and
somebody tag Kira if she's not here.
Yeah,
she's
so-
our
She was
contact.
the mastermind behind the
it was
thingies.
awesome. They gave me some other nifty gifties, and like totally, I never expected anything in return other than your contributions, because that's what really drove the entire thing. And I really wish we could explore more of that other side of the story tonight. But But for real, y'all, that's really awesome. There are more, hopefully, to come. That's all I'll say. We've got a lot of other ideas, and I know, right? This is
Oh,
a
so
book.
fun.
We wrote that. It's so cool. So yeah, I hope y'all had fun tonight. Did you have fun?
Yes.
We had, this was our best attended adventures in reading ever.
I love that. All the time. I'm
so-
such a kid. I love them.
So I think it's fantastic.
And there's I think 13 pages of messages to you at the beginning of the
I love
book.
it. I love it. Oh my God, it's really cool.
Well, next week,
Oh my God,
tune in for our second live discussion for Will White's of Shadow and Sea and of Sea of Shadow. We'll be finalizing this Pirates versus Ninja debate once and for
Also-
all.
Yes. That is also your last day to pre-order anything, everything, whether, oh my God.
Whoa.
Don't cry. She's so excited about pre-orders.
Add a lot of rum. Whether it's the books, t-shirts, tote bags, cups, it's not that funny.
What even was that?
You broke him.
I couldn't tell if I was running out of air. or
There's a
not.
t-shirt.
I forgot to breathe in.
Here's the magnet bottle opener button.
Yes.
We got the koozie.
All
We
the
got
pre-orders,
take the shot
anything.
glass.
Anything and everything you could possibly want. Pre-orders close that night, next Wednesday night. We have to get all the pre-orders in, so please.
I gotta
please
get my pre-order.
Don't. Yeah, we have to put all of ours in next Wednesday night, and like after that, they're closed, and we won't be able to order anymore. So don't miss this chance, because literally we don't have time to run more cool stuff until the end of the year, probably.
Yeah,
Um,
we do hope to do another little swag run, hopefully in time for the holidays, and if it coincides with another book that we write, I don't know, that'd be cool. But if
Huh.
not, it's cool too. But yeah, get those in. Again, thank you all so much for joining us. I know this is a weird kind of thing to do a live book reading, but we love
But
y'all
it's
for.
fun.
It is fun, isn't it? You
It
know,
was fun
and
for me. I mean, I got to read the end. So that was fun.
and you know, these are the first times these words have been spoken out loud to anyone in the world. When you think about that,
Unless you read it out loud to somebody while you were writing it.
that would have been.
But not in
weird.
this order.
Not
That's
in
right.
this order. So that's all I have.
So yeah, thanks for joining us for
An extra.
Hey, and we'll be back next week with our regularly scheduled book discussion. Thank you all. We love you all, and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.